Concept getters, let me tell you something. There's this concept called long division, and it's very relevant and applicable to examinations from, I think, grade 4 5 up until matric, only if you're not going to continue with math after matric. So basically, if you're going to do mathematics after matric, like in tertiary, you're still going to see it, guys. So if there's any best time to understand this method, to get the concept of this method, it's now. Okay. But otherwise, remember, Mr. Say is here to just simplify it for you. You as being a concept getter, today you're going to get the concept behind long division. All right. I hope you're good concept getters, and let's just start. Okay. As you can see right now, we have 7,824 divided by 24. And when they say a big number divided by a small number, the one that is going to be divided by will be outside. The small one will be outside, right? And the big one will be inside. So as you can see, I wrote the big one in here, the small one outside. Clear? So this is what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to write everything, right? I'm going to say 24 goes into 7 how many times? Obviously, in 7, there's no 24, right? So which means I'm just going to write 0 at the top. So I'm just going to say it goes 0 times. It doesn't go. And if it doesn't go, there's no need to multiply, divide, or whatsoever, right? Then I'm going to look at the first two numbers now. Then I'm going to say 24 into 78 goes how many times? It goes 3 times. Let's see how you can get it. You're going to write 24, 24, 24. Then you say 24, 24, 24 would give you what? 4, 8, 12, 2, 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 72. So 24 basically goes into 72. 72 is a number smaller than 78 that 24 can go to. Right, the maximum number just below 78 that 24 can go into. And it goes how many times? It goes 1, 2, 3 times. So at the top, I'm going to write 3. Remember, we are basically dividing. So I'm going to say we divide first to check how many times something goes into something we are dividing, right? Then I'll say now, the next step is after dividing, you multiply. You're going to say 3 multiplied by 24. That's why we are multiplying now. 3 multiplied by 24 is what, guys? It's 72. Basically, you go back to here, right? It's going to be 72. You write that 72 and you say 72. You write it here. So after multiplying, guys, what are you going to do? You're going to subtract, right? Then you're going to say minus. Then you say 8 minus 2 is 6. 7 minus 7 is 0. There's no need for me to write the 0, right? Then what's the next step? You're going to drop. Right? What are you going to drop? The next digit just after 8. So I'm going to say I'm dropping 2. Then after you drop, you go back to dividing. Right? So that's the circle, guys. You divide, you multiply, you subtract, you drop. Go back, divide, multiply, subtract, drop. That's how you're going to go until you get the full answer. That's how long division works. Some people use the mnemonic dad, mom, sister, drop. Right? Dad, mom, sister, drop. You can do that as well, okay? So you can say, after you drop the 2, remember the 2 will be in alignment with the 2 at the top. Then after you drop it, you're going to now look at the 24 again. You're going to say 62 divided by 24. Basically, you're saying, how many times does 24 go into 62? So how many times does it go? You can check. How do you check? You write 24. You write 24. You check. 4 plus 4 is 8. 2 plus 2 is 4. Then you say, let me add another 24 and see if it's going to go only twice. So let's see. 8 plus 4 is 12, carry 1. Then I have 5, 6, 7. So it's 72, which means 72 is bigger than 62, which means I'm going to cancel this next 24 that I added, right? I'm going to just stop here on 48. Basically, 48 is the biggest number just under 62 that 24 can go into. And then now, how many times does 24 go into 48? It goes twice, which means in 62, it also goes twice. Does it make sense? So which means at the top there, you're going to write 2. And check where I wrote the 2. The 2 that I wrote will be in alignment with the 2 that is in alignment with the last 2 of 62, the number that was dropped. All right. Then now, I'm going to say, remember, after dividing, remember I said 24 into 62 goes how many times? I said it goes twice, right? After you divide, you're going to multiply that answer with the 24. Clear? So I'm going to say my M says 2 multiplied by 24 will give me what? 2 multiplied by 24 will give me 48. Where's that 48? Remember the answer we got here, right? The answer we got here. Clear? And then I'm going to say minus. Remember, you subtract now. Then you say all over. Right? You just underline. Okay? Then you're going to say now 62 minus 48. Let's do a borrow and subtract. 2 minus 8, obviously. 8 can never be found or can never be taken away from 2, right? So I'll just borrow from 6 and I'll be left with 5, and then put that 1. I borrow 1 from 6. I'm left with 5. That 1 that I borrowed from 6 is going to be on top of the 2, making the 2 and the 1 12, right? Then which means now I have 12 minus 8. So when you say 12 take away 8, you're going to be left with 4, right? And then now also you're left with 5 and 4. Now you're going to say this 5 take away this 4 will give you what? 5 take away 4 will give me 1, which means I'm left with 14 after subtracting, right? Then you're going to check, does 24, this 24 here, does it go into 14? Nah, which means I'll have to drop this 4 again here. Clear, right? So when I drop it, it's going to be 4, which means I have 24 into 144. So now 144 divided by 12 is what? Remember, after dropping, you go back to dividing, right? So after dropping, you're going to say 24 goes how many times into 144? Let's do it on the side on our rough work. Let's see. You're going to say 24, 24, 24, 24. Let me just do 4 first. 4, 8, 12, 16, right? When I add the 4s, remember I'm adding 4, 8, 12, 16. I write 6, carry 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I have 9. Let me add another 24 and see how it's going to work, right? Let me add another 24. Then I'm going to say 4 plus 6 is 10, carry 1. 1 plus 9 is 10, plus 2 is 12. I write 2. 120, 144. Now, 120 is still way, way smaller than 144. It can't be the last number that 24 can go into that is below 144. So let me add another 24. That's what you're going to do, okay? Then you're going to add another 24 and say 0 plus 4 is going to give me what? It's going to give me... Let me move a bit so that you can see. So I'm going to say 0 plus 4 is going to give me 4. And then 2 plus 2 is 4. I'm left with 1. It goes exactly into 144. So now, how many times does 24 go into 144? You count only 24s. You're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 24 into 144 goes exactly 6 times. Remember, I'm doing this without the calculator, right? So 24 into 144 goes exactly 6 times. So I'm just going to write my 6 at the top there. Then I'll say 6 times 24. Obviously, because our answer was 144, the answer will be 144. After you get the answer at the top, after you get your answer at the top, then you're going to say 6 times 24, right? The multiplication after division, right? Then you're going to get there 24, 144, and then you're going to do this, right? Now you're going to say 144 minus 14, you're going to get 0. 144 minus 144 is going to give us 0. Remember, guys, you are not done until you get a 0 here or until you get a remainder. But for now, I'm just doing the divisions of the numbers that will not yield a remainder, right? Like basically numbers that are divisible by 8. So the answer now to the question is, when they ask you and they say, what is 7,824 minus, divided by 24? You're gonna say it's 326. And that's it, guys. That's your long division. So don't forget to do this in here, and you're gonna say and you're gonna remember to do what? To subscribe and share, guys. Remember, we want others to also pass. And also comment, guys. Tell me which other content that you would like me to simplify or concept that you would like to get. And last but not least, you know those people who always say this, last but not least, don't forget to pray for my handwriting. Yo.